Cheyenne, I'm just going to show you how to use your brand new vintage Singer Fashion Mate 237. So the first thing that you need to know is when you plug these vintage machines in, they're just on. So I don't think you would anyway, but don't ever just leave it plugged in if you're not using it, because it's on. If you hit the pedal, it will start moving. Once you get a light bulb in, you'll be able to turn the light on and off with this little click thing back here, but it has nothing to do whether if the machine's on or off. That's a separate thing. All right, so the first thing I want to show you is when you change your needle, which will need to happen from time to time, and this is something that's very important. When you change your needle, normally you're used to the hole being in the front and the back. In this machine, it's going to be side to side, and there's even a little arrow here that reminds you which way it needs to be threaded, which means the eye needs to be facing this way. So when you have a needle, you're going to see, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a flat side on the top of this needle, and that flat side needs to be facing the machine on this side. And that is going to be very important, and if you don't have it loaded right, it may not actually sew for you. All right. Make sure I have that. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is to wind the bobbin. Now your machine has the plastic class 15 bobbins, and it comes with a couple of them, so you're already pretty much good to go. I did add this to the machine for you. Definitely leave that there. It keeps the thread from spinning too much. All right, so to wind your bobbin, just thread it through like that and put it on this. Probably doing this in the wrong order. Just thread that through like that. All right. And this moves it over. You're going to want to move this whole thing over here so that this is in between these. I think it's, there we go. All right. And what we're going to do is we have to disengage the clutch. So we hold onto the wheel and turn this counterclockwise until it's loose. And then we can start winding the bobbin. And we do that by holding onto this. And I'm going to press on the pedal. And it's going to start going. And you want to make sure it's going evenly up and down. It is. Now I'm not going to fill it up all the way. I'm just going to stop there. But you can fill it up all the way, but make sure it never goes outside the plastic. Stop it before it ever gets there, but we're just going to do about a half wind there. All right, and so we just push this to the outside and pull it up, and that's good to go. And we need to re-engage the clutch. Just hold on to the hand wheel and tighten that up again, this time doing it clockwise. All right, you may be familiar with loading the bobbin. It's going to be a little bit different on this machine. You're used to it in the front. This one is on the side, but it's the same basic idea. You have your little bobbin case. You load it in with the thread winding clockwise. It's being a little tricky, and I can't see it well. There we go. All right, so to thread the machine, bring it through here. We're winding it through the tension discs here. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's going in between the two little plates here. Then you bring this up and it goes over that, and make sure it looks like that. And all I did was swing it up and then thread it through here. Thread it through here. Oops, can't see anything with my glasses. All right, and there's one more tension point over here. And then we thread it through the needle. All right, and you're probably familiar with how to bring up the bobbin thread. Just turn the hand wheel always towards you. Full rotation. And it's up. All right. So sewing is pretty normal from this point. You and I did go over together that these knobs are a little bit different. Instead of just pushing it over, we push them down a little bit and slide over to where we want. This over here to the far right is a straight stitch, which is probably mostly what you'll be using. And this over here this is the reverse up here, how you lock in your stitches. And this is the number of stitches per inch. I have it set on 12-ish right now. And one really interesting feature about this is if you unscrew it, you can take it all the way down. But when you have it where you like it, and right now I have it on 12, if you screw it, just push it to the right, not too tight. You don't want to break the plastic. It is just plastic, so not too tight. It'll stay there. So when you go in reverse, you can just swing it back down and it stops exactly where you need it. And you don't have to carefully make sure you know where you want it. So sewing is exactly what you would expect from this point. Oops, that was me just not stepping on the pedal right. Oops, stab in your sewing machine. All right, let's see, pretty good stitching. A little reverse right there. So it looks good. The only other thing is if you accidentally mess with this dial here, it's fine. There are two settings on this, R and D. It's on R right now. And you can swing it over to, I think it's a D. But that just messes with these feed dogs here. The little grippy thing for the fabric, you're always going to want them up so that it grips your fabric and moves it. So if you ever can't find them and they're not there, you probably just accidentally mess with this and just switch it back here. And that should be all the basics that you need to know.